Am I live? I'll be back. I'm gonna throw something in the trash. Just give you time to come in. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't hang up yet. I'll be right back. Don't hang up, y'all. Okay, I moved as fast as I could. Y'all didn't hang up, did you? Y'all still on the phone? I said, are you still on the phone? All right. So let me head on to my location. So my topic is today is hard to play the game when you have a soul. I was listening to some of these YouTubers, they post other people's TikToks. Because I don't really go on TikTok. I don't go on too many social media platforms for listening to people. I don't care about everything that people have to say like that. So YouTubers that play it on their channel, then I see it that way. But she was talking about women empowerment groups and how they are a scam. And I can agree with that. Women empowerment groups, to me, a lot of times, focus on women getting money, women being successful. That's part of it, yes. But I feel like a big part of empowerment or inner empowerment needs to really, always to me, it has to start with self-love. I don't see why I can't just tell women who they supposed to date, go after this kind of man, or just, hustle and get all this money. But then there's no self-love in there anywhere. But a lot of times, what I heard this lady talking about is saying these are people who are rich. They're not interested in networking with you. They're just interested in your money. Well, that's just true about people, period. So I know when you go to these women empowerment groups, I know this is a brown lady that was saying that they're only interested in your money. They're not interested in networking with you. That's across the board. This is not just a women's empowerment group that does that. That's across the board. When you have somebody that call themselves want to help you quit your job, want to help you get to a better place, and they offer you their courses and all this stuff, they're interested in your money. They're not interested in being your friend. They're not interested in helping you. They're interested in your money, and that's just anybody, no matter what color they are, no matter what ethnicity, no matter, that's just across the board. But I just want to talk about this topic of playing the game. It's hard. I've worked in my particular career that I'm in right now. I've worked for over 20 years. Okay, I worked for over 20 years in this career. And let me tell you something. I have not gotten well at playing the game yet. Why? It's not because I don't know the game. It's not because I don't know the game. It's because you have to constantly be a liar. Not constantly, but most of the time you have to. You can't, hello. You can't really care about how you affect people. You can't really have a heart. When you're playing the game, you can't really have a heart. You can't. And for me, I've I've talked a few times about for myself that works for me. It's not me who live, but Christ who lives in me right now. I'm not talking about a particular man in the painting. Okay, I'm not talking about a black man. I'm not talking about a white man. I'm talking about a particular type of frequency, a particular type of energy, right? It's not me that lives, but Christ that lives in me. And even though I'm not perfect, playing the game, there's no way that you have room for any type of higher frequency to come in. Let me say it like that. I'm gonna say it in a way that does not sound religious, because I don't want to sound religious. I don't deal with church folks. I don't deal with church, and I don't deal with church folks. I do not. Because for me, I feel like most church folks just have a form of godliness, and I believe differently than what's being preached in the church. I believe differently. I know we've been thrown into, we're in a deception, and so a lot of stuff that's given to us in religion, the roles have been, a lot of stuff has been reversed. So I don't believe in everything that is necessarily being taught in the church, because I know that we're in reverse. And a lot of the credit that they keep giving to the men, it really should go to women. So that's the reason why I'm not too much into the church like that, you know. But anyway, I still get into the word though. Nevertheless, I still believe the word is a living word because I experienced it for myself. Okay. But getting back to it, you cannot be a person. I don't necessarily see achieving true spiritual salvation. I don't necessarily see achieving salvation like that and playing the game. I can't see it. I can't see it. Because the more I get into the word, the more I let the word get into me, the more I let the word saturate my subconscious mind. Little by little, I can't do some of the things that I used to do because my whole mental, everything is changing. It's hard for me to eat, but even if you're just trying to work on just getting to a higher vibration, though, just like literally just being on getting into a higher mind. Constantly playing a game, constantly manipulating people, that to me, that is of a lower, that's a lower mind to me. So yeah, these people might have money, they might be millionaires and all this stuff, but you constantly having to play the game, constantly have to find a way to get over people. Now, if you're selling things and your products actually work, then you're actually you're using your own products because you know it works, and so you make money off of selling stuff that you know that works because you use your own products. That's different. To me, you're not really playing a game. You're just good at selling things that you already know works, and you're good at being an influencer. But some people influence people in a way that where they're a con artist. A lot of people are con artists, and I don't do well with that. Let me tell you something. I don't do well with that, and I'm glad that I don't have the gift of gab in that way. Because sometimes when you are given the gift of gab, because gifts are given without repentance, I don't know if that's necessarily a gift from the Most High, having a gift of gab especially, but it can be a gift from the Most High, and some people use it as a way to con other people. And you have to know what you're talking about, because you need to have more than a gift of gab. But if you're talking to somebody, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're talking to somebody who know everything you're talking about, and they know that you straight up lying or you just don't know, then you can't just fool everybody with your gift of gab if you don't really know what you're talking about. That's another thing. You need to know what you're talking about. You know. But I was not gifted with the gift of gab. Let me just say, I was not gifted with the gift of gab, meaning that whatever I try to sell to somebody, I believe in it. I can't just get over on folks like that. whatever kind of services I'm trying to give to somebody is because I already believe in it. So I don't need a gift of gab. All I need is my own conviction or my own, you know, it's not a gift of gab that's needed. It's something that I'm already aware that works. And it's not about a gift of gab. Some people have a gift of gab when they know they straight up know they're lying about something. They already know they scamming you, but they get over anyway. Okay, Stockdale Highway. Okay, but anyway, but yeah, it don't work for me. When I worked at several places. I lived in Cleveland, I lived in Alabama, I worked in Los Angeles, and I worked in Southern California where I am now. And I just never got into playing the game like that. I just did my job and I mind my business. I don't like forming these alliances. I don't like cliques. I don't like any of that. I don't like it. It tends to be negative to me. And I do not like playing the game. To me, playing the game is completely against the Most High. It just is. And I don't mean to sound like a religious person, but either you're going to have a soul or you're not. And when you get stuck into playing the game when you get stuck into playing the game like that, you get to the point where you become too honest. And they admit at it. They play the game. And then turn around and complain that they see certain behaviors in this world, right? I talked about that yesterday on the live, that you complain about how people are acting in an ego-driven world. If you play the game and you love playing the game because you're so good at it, then you love being in an ego-driven world. In that case, you can't really get surprised when somebody do something in broad daylight, like unalive somebody in broad daylight. You choose an ego-driven world. You love it. Then take what comes along with that ego-driven world. There's going to be a lot of bad things that you're going to see that happens, because that's what happens in HELL. Okay, that's what happens. And so take what comes along with that kind of world. Okay, because some people actually love it, but then they want to, certain things they don't want to see. Certain things is too much. Like, well, that's what happens. I mean, ego-driven world is a demonic world. Okay, and you're going to see some stuff. And I don't even being surprised by it. I did turn on. Oh, okay, let me see. I turned in one. Okay, 400 feet turn. All right. But anyway, that's just what comes along with that world. But anyway, that is it. The game is why I backed out of a lot of something groups, divestment groups. Yeah, I've never been in these groups before. I don't do well with groups. I've never been in a sorority. I've never been in groups. I don't do well with groups. I have to say this. I mean this in the best way, because I don't mean this about everybody, but when I will try to join like little Facebook groups, and this was like in 2016, 2017, and I would be in like little Facebook groups, no more than 20 or 30, nothing huge. I found a lot of brown women who have an attitude problem. And I don't mean this in a negative. I don't mean this to put down a whole group of people, because there are a lot of brown women that are nice people, very nice people, right? I found a lot of these groups that I was a part of, it's only because I wanted a connection with brown women. I didn't need to be a part of anything. I just always wanted to connect with brown women. Now I don't care like that. I don't care like that. Like, if I do, I do, and if I don't, I don't. Like, I don't care. I'm not looking for these type of relationships anymore, right? But I found brown women to have, I'm going to say it was hard to communicate with brown women if I didn't already have a certain personality. Let me say what I mean. To them, you can't be what's called corny. You have to have some kind of game. Um, and I think sometimes this is what some men complain about. Although I'm not going to get on the man side because some men have been very, very nasty. I'm not going to just take that side, but in this case, I can see where they're coming from. When it comes to especially some brown women, when you do want to open the door, when you do want to be kind or not, let me stop using that word kind. Let me say nice, but kind, like doing nice things, pulling out the chair. When you do want to do those things for some brown women, it's looked at as weak or something. It's looked at as they are just a chump. It's looked at as they're not a real man. They're not, because some brown women come up in neighborhoods, and they come up in environments and communities where they are abused verbally, and they go to school. When you go to schools, you know that's mostly brown people. Uh-oh. And then it's always like you have to always be fake. It's about all this swag. You have to be fake. You can't have feelings, you can't have emotions. You can't be a real person around the brown community, mostly called black community, because I know brown, some people might think you're talking about Latina. uh, and so when you are a person who really speaks from your heart, sometimes people are negative, and so you have to constantly be fake. Oh, Mountain Park. You have to be fake and just always act like you always unbothered, always act like you on top. And I don't do that type of stuff. I like to tell the truth. Like I'm a real soul. Like I have a real soul. I can't do all that stuff. Now this is what you have to do, like I say, in the brown community, period. Okay, I'm about to turn. Okay, now what do I turn? 350 feet turn. Okay. But anyway, so yeah. So that's why I say playing the game don't work for me, because I can't stand being fake for too long like that. I can't stand that. Too long, and for too long I just have to be fake. And what I was saying about these empowerment groups that this woman was talking about with these brown women, I found that I don't do well. I've tried to be like in little Facebook groups with brown women just for a connection with brown women, and I just always found that I always found there was negativity, and not that they were just keeping up mess, and not necessarily about them keeping up mess. It's just that I'm always saying the wrong thing. Like, what can I say that's right? You have an attitude about any little thing I say. Like, I cannot ever say anything that's right. Okay. And so it's like I can't I come to the conclusion that just because I have a brown complexion does not mean that we are really sisters or we're family. Because it's really about who who you vibe with. It's really about who you vibe with. And for me, just in general, whether it's a man or a woman, most of the time it's non-black, and it's not by my choice. It's only because I can't be who I am around brown people like that. I can't be who I really am. I can't be myself. I have to be somebody fake. I can't be me. It's almost like you always have to have some kind of swag around brown people. You always have to have swag, and that I don't have none of that. Like they'll be quick to call me autistic. I'm autistic to brown people, so-called black people. I'm autistic to them. Okay, I don't have all that going on. Now to other groups of people, I mean, they just see me as somebody who's different. But to brown people, I don't have all of that. Yeah, all that swag and all that stuff. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk for a little bit. Yeah, we straight up the same experiences. Yeah. So yeah, that's all. I just want to talk for a little bit while I drive to my destination. And I just want to go live for a little bit. And I will talk to you later. Alrighty.